Hello student, welcome back to the science class once again. Thank you all for watching the previous videos and an additional thank you for staying home. So what was the discussion of our previous class? In the previous class we discussed about a physical change and a chemical change. I hope all of you and you all can remember the explanation that I have explained about physical change and chemical change. There were certain examples of physical changes and certain examples of chemical change. Now, based on the previous explanation, if the question that I ask you is burning of a candle, what is it? Whether it is a physical change or whether it is a chemical change? What can your answer be? Think of it. Is burning of candle a physical change or a chemical change? The answer to the question is burning of candle is both a physical change as well as a chemical change. How is it a physical change and a chemical change? Burning, it always occurs because of the presence of oxygen. So since there is burning, so burning itself is a chemical change. Remember this thing. Burning is always a chemical change. So burning of a candle, it is a chemical change. Clear? How you can categorize it as a physical change also? Since the candle is burning and the wax is melting, right, because of the change in shape, the burning of candle is also a physical change. Clear? So, for today, we are going to learn about elements, compounds, and the difference between and the difference between a compound and a mixture. So let us start with the elements now. What is an element? An element is a basic form of matter that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by any chemical reaction. What is an element actually? An element is the simplest form of matter which cannot be further broken down by any kind of chemical reaction. Clear? An example of element is hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, and so on. There are many elements. Okay? In short, if you want to remember about an element, then remember that an element is the simplest form of matter which cannot be further broken down by any chemical reaction. Clear? Further on, this element is divided into three categories: metal, non-metal, and metalloids. Okay? Metal, non-metal, and metalloids. Let us understand this metal, non-metal, and metalloids with the help of their properties. Which elements can be categorized as a metal? To categorize any element as a metal, they have some properties. Let us understand their physical property. First one, they are shiny. Okay? Metals are shiny. Then, that is, metals are shiny, so you can just write it, they are lustrous. Okay? Luster means shine only. Second one, they are sonorous. Metals when you strike a metal, it will produce sound. So they are sonorous. Okay? Metals are malleable. Okay? It means they can be beaten into thin sheets. Metals are ductile. Okay? You can draw a metal into thin wires. Okay? Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Right. So these are the properties of metals. There are some more other properties. Basically, I have discussed the five properties. They are sonorous, they are malleable, they are ductile, they are lustrous, they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay. So these are what the metal is. An example of metal is gold. Isn't gold lustrous? Yes, that means isn't gold shiny? Gold is shiny. But one characteristic is not enough to define that particular thing is a metal. Maximum, most of the characteristics should be present in a substance to call it as a metal. Clear? An example of metal is silver. An example of metal is iron, etc. What is a non-metal next? A non-metal, let us understand this non-metal with the help of its property only. A non-metal is not lustrous. Though it is lustrous, it produces variety of colors. Okay? But gold, but a metal, okay, it is lustrous and it has only one or two color. For example, in a metal is either golden yellow color or it is of either silver yellow color. Clear? Non-metal on the other hand, they show a variety of colors. Non-metals can be of variety of colors. Non-metals are not sonorous. Non-metals are neither malleable nor they are ductile. And non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Clear? That means it contains most of the opposite properties of metals. Clear? So an example of non-metal is oxygen. It is a non-metal. Clear? So the next one is metalloids. What is a metalloid? These are those elements which are the intermediate of a metal and a non-metal. Okay, they show the dual characteristics of a metal also as well as a non-metal also. Understood? These are the intermediate of a metal and a non-metal. Clear? So these are the classifications of the different groupings of elements. So elements are further divided into three subcategories: metal, non-metal and metalloids. So next let us proceed to the compound. What is a compound? A compound is a substance composed of two or more elements chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. Okay, what is a compound? A compound is a substance which is formed when two or more elements combine chemically in a fixed ratio. When you combine two or more elements, they will form a compound. Okay, and that combination, okay, will happen always in a fixed ratio. Okay, it is not like this that you will take some this metal, sorry, you will take some this element and you will take some more that element and you will combine it. It doesn't happen. They all combine in a fixed ratio. Understood? This is what your compound is. So in short, if you want to remember about compound, a compound is a combination of two or more elements chemically combined together in a fixed proportion. That is what your compound is. Now let us proceed to the difference between a compound and a mixture. What can be the difference between a compound and a mixture be? A compound, it is formed by two or more elements chemically combined together. What else is a mixture? Okay, when two or more substances combine, they forms mixture. In a compound, the elements whichever have combined to form a compound, their ratio is fixed. Okay, they have combined in a fixed proportion. Whereas in a mixture, there is no any fixed proportion for their combination. Is it clear? A mixture, they can be separated by a physical process, but a compound, they can never be separated by a physical process. This is what the difference between a compound and a mixture is. I hope you all have understood about elements, you have understood about the classifications of, means the different groupings of elements, and I hope you have understood about the difference between a compound and a mixture. So for now, stay safe. Thank you.